All right, guys, so we got ourselves a bit of an interesting video today. We have a bunch of nonsense happening with the video game called Splitgate 2. Now, this particular video game, Shadow dropped a battle royale version of itself during the Summer Games Fest, and people were talking about it not because of the video game itself, but people were talking about it because what one of the leads had on his head. He was wearing essentially a MAGA hat, but not really a MAGA hat. It was a black hat that said, "Make FPSs great again." And of course, the moment you do anything with make and then great again, you're going to have the entire internet lose their minds simply because of the relation, or potential relation, I should say, to Donald Trump, right? Everybody and their mother on Twitter and everywhere else in the world has TDS, but apparently not enough TDS for him not to win the election. But that's besides the point. Splitgate 2 has this video out right now where he is essentially trying to explain what happened with that whole debacle. And we got other stuff we want to talk about, like the pricing that this game has been getting destroyed for, because he also made a comment talking about how he's tired of the same Call of Duty every year and how Titanfall 3 should have been a thing. He essentially attacked Call of Duty on the stage. And listen, I have no problems with that. Call of Duty is pretty trash for the most part, at least what it's become. But still, you're attacking Call of Duty and you got skins that cost over $100 or $80 on your store, acting as if you're changing anything. Yeah, it's clear that people weren't buying the BS. So before we get into it, special shout out to all of you 89,500 plus legends that are subscribed to the channel right now, and the 50% plus that are not subscribed. Consider hitting that subscribe button today. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, boys, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this video first just to see what's going on, and then we are going to talk about the actual pricing in the skin. So stick around as long as you can. I would appreciate it. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, it's Ian here. First off, I want to thank everybody who's played Splitgate 2 so far. Whether you played Arena, Battle Royale, Onslaught, Map Creator, the whole shebang, we appreciate you guys and we appreciate all the feedback. Keep it coming. Second thing I want to touch on is, yesterday we said make FPS great again. What does that mean? Obviously, some people didn't receive it the way we intended. Our intention is truly to make FPS as good as possible. It's plain and simple. But what does that mean?
So while I may believe that he just simply wanted to make a statement about making first-person shooters great again, I think you are insane if you think that people were not going to make the correlation between the hat that you were wearing and obviously MAGA and Donald Trump and whatnot. The level of TDS that is happening throughout this country, you are insane for even thinking that was remotely not even going to be made, right? That correlation obviously is going to be made. And it is in my belief, and it's in my opinion, that he knew that, right? I think he absolutely knew that that hat was going to cause a controversy online and get people talking about the hat and eventually the game, so that he can look like the good guy and come out with this video basically saying not that he's sorry, but that he can further explain his intentions. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to make these friendly consumer changes that are going to make you so much more happier than you are right now with all the controversy. At least that's the strategy that I see. But to him, it seems like he wants you to believe that he had no idea that people would take it this way, which I would rather believe you're lying than believe you are stupid, personally. But anyway, let's continue.
It's easy to say a sentence, but saying a sentence doesn't really matter if there's no action behind it. And so the first thing I want to do is double down on being community first and listening to you guys, because you guys are the reason we're here. And so the first action we're taking is we hear you loud and clear on the store prices. And so that Nano Swarm bundle, we're cutting the price in half. Some of the other items in the shop, we're reducing prices across the board. And we're going to keep monitoring it.
So the Nano Swarm bundle, we're going to get into that later in the video, is reducing by half. I don't know if that's the $80 one or the $100+ one, but regardless, it's obnoxious how much they're charging for these skins. And keep in mind, we live in a world where League of Legends is charging $400+ for skins, right? So I mean, let's be real. It's not the most egregious thing I've heard, but it's still absolutely ridiculous what they're charging for skins these days. You got World of Warcraft charging ridiculous for mounts, Final Fantasy 14 charging ridiculous for mounts. Of course, this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. But let's continue.
We're going to keep listening, but that's what we're taking action on today. We're also going to be issuing refunds for the kind of the difference in pricing for the split coin that you spent. You will get that back. So now and going forward, this will be the new standard that we set, and we're going to keep listening. The other thing I want to touch on is just,
that's good that they're at least refunding the difference so that people that overspent would get some of their money back. so they don't feel like they got hosed. So good on them for that one.
Why did we release a battle royale in general? Well, for one, it's additive, right? It's not here to replace anything. I love every part about this game equally. They're all equally important. Without Arena, there is no battle royale. Without Map Creator, Map Creator supports this ongoing effort of live ops, right? We need it all. Onslaught, so fun. But the other thing I want to touch on is like, what was the intent of this battle royale? What did we just copy? Did we just chase a trend? And the answer is no. I actually 5 years ago, I set out, I specifically, I never wanted to make a battle royale unless I thought I could actually add and innovate to the genre. And I think we've done that. I feel very proud and confident in this battle royale experience because it's kind of a battle royale arena shooter hybrid. And so that was the intent. We wanted it to be true to Splitgate. We wanted it to be fast. You'll notice you respawn in it. You have power weapons in it. All the things I love about arena shooters, just taken to that next level. And so wanted to touch on that. We really feel we've innovated here, but you'll have to check it out for yourself. And obviously the big selling point being the fact that it's these multiple worlds connected across massive 100-foot tall portals.
So for me, I never played the original Splitgate. I've asked some people that have played it, and for the most part, they say that it was okay. But the Steam numbers obviously are not that great for this game. And, I really don't see how it got a sequel, to be honest with you, based off the numbers of the first one. But, I mean, it's here, right? The sequel is here, and I believe it's at about 20 some odd thousand. Let's go to SteamDB really quick. So the initial Splitgate for SteamDB, if you look here, it peaked all time 3.8 years ago at 67,724 and obviously could not maintain its player base over the years. And then if you look at Splitgate number 2, you're going to realize, according to the charts, that right now it's at an all-time peak of 25,785 with a 24-hour peak just slightly below that at 24,811. So it has a fairly decent, healthy player base right now anyway for the second one. But I feel like this is going to go in the same exact direction as the first one, where eventually it's just going to completely die off and nobody's going to be talking about it, right? I mean, look at this blip right here. I guess this is like the official release perhaps or something. And then all of a sudden just dies. Like literally within just 2 months, it goes from 67,000 to 9,948, and then it dies right after that. So the game unfortunately got abandoned for whatever that reason may be, and I feel like Splitgate 2 is probably going to follow that trend, although it might be a little bit smoother down that hill and not so drastic, if that if that makes sense. But in any case, let's continue this video and see what else he's got to say. It's almost done.
The other thing I'll add is what are we doing going forward? Well, for one, we're absolutely supporting Arena and everything about this game, not just Battle Royale. So we've yesterday added 2 arena maps. We added a takedown map. We're adding another arena map in a month. So we are going to keep it coming across all experiences. We've got new biomes, new map creator templates, everything. We're just on it, guys. We are going to support this thing across the board. The other thing I'll say is we hear you loud and clear. You guys want ranked and you want more to grind for. These are 2 things at the top of our priority list. So I'd say to set expectations, ranked is probably going to be coming in the next 2 to 4 weeks. I love ranked. That's how I play. I grind ranked, whatever game I'm playing, that's what I do. So it is very high on the priority list. It's going to be here. We still want to balance things before we set it live. We want to make sure, okay, we got things in a reasonably balanced state, and I think we're close. But I'd give it a couple weeks at least, 2 to 4. And then mastery challenges is the other thing we're doing. I love the good old days of COD, grinding those skins, trying to chase those mastery skins. We are very close on it. Again, I'd say 2 to 4 weeks, kind of the ETA, but it's also at the top of our priority list.
I find it interesting that someone who says that they're tired of a COD every single year is trying to do things that are similar to COD with the mastery skins and everything. I'm sure there's going to be gold camels and whatnot. I just find that to be pretty ironic.
But yeah, guys, I mean, for now, we're heads down. We are working hard to deliver the best game possible. That's what we're going to keep doing. And we're going to keep listening. Whatever you think about the game, the Battle Royale arena, keep the feedback coming. It only helps us. It only drives us. But appreciate everyone. Appreciate the support. Go play Splitgate and keep telling us how we can improve it.
Listen, like I said before earlier in the video, I have no problems with what he's saying. It sounds great, right? It sounds like a developer who's listening to his fan base. Great. That's what we want. My problem is I don't want to think you are stupid. That's really what it is. And because I don't want to think you are stupid, that initially makes me feel like you are lying about using the hat to try to draw up controversy so that you can respond with this video that's going to make you look like the good old guy and get people to go play your game because they're going to feel like you're listening, right? In a world where we have so many developers not listening, this just seems very fake. And it seems very planned. And again, that's not to say that what he's saying is wrong, because it's not. I'm just saying it seems very planned. But regardless, now we have this article here where the revelation again comes out from the video that Splitgate 2 bundles have prices slashed as the developers respond to the criticism. Again, people are going after this developer because the simple fact is he chose to go after Call of Duty publicly and make these statements about not wanting the same old COD. And then people are like, well, I don't know if you know, but you're doing the same thing that the same old COD was doing as well. So in the response, and of course he had to respond very quickly, he had to completely slash the pricing. But look at how bad this pricing actually was. The most sour note to take away from the Battle Royale reveal concerned the hefty microtransactions, some of which were as high as $145 for a pack before discounts were applied. In a post published recently on social media, they honestly had to explain the whole situation and then explain that he was cutting in the Nano Swarm bundle by half, which means everything else should technically follow suit. So at this point, this developer, I don't know what you guys think. You can let me know in the comments down below. Do you believe him? Do you think this was planned? Was he using the MAGA-like hat in order to try to drum up controversy to get people to hate on his game and talk about his game, only for him to drop within 24 hours of video, promising everything that people wanted to hear and then trying to get people on his side? Or is this actually legit? Did he just not know? And he made this statement with the hat on, thinking that no controversy was going to happen and that people weren't going to misconstrue what he was saying, only to get completely destroyed by the internet within 24 hours. Like, again, I don't believe that, but you can let me know in the comments down below if you do and why that is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Special shout out to the Bigot Army members. Thank you guys so much for being a member of the channel. And if you are not a member, and consider hitting that join button today, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.